Good morning. We're up to Parshas Vaychi, Tuf Shian Ayin Ches, and let's see what the Torah is teaching us this week's Parsha. We know that Torah, the word Torah, means it's supposed to teach me something. What does the Torah teach us this week? And we're up to the fourth paragraph in this week's Parsha, and the Parsha says that Yaakov called his sons and he told them, get together and come to me and I will tell you what's going to be in the end of days. And the Torah, the next paragraph starts, Yaakov Avinu tells his son, Reuven, my firstborn, and the Medrash says on this, he started telling him reproof, Musar. And Yaakov told him, why didn't I tell you reproof all these years? And I tried figuring out, it's approximately 45 years ago, Reuven did something that Yaakov felt he's supposed to tell him a reproof, and he didn't tell it to him in all these years. And he's telling him, the reason that I didn't tell it to you all these years, because I was afraid that if I would tell it to you, you would go to my brother Esav. That's why I didn't say anything. But now, before I'm going to die, it's, in other words, my last chance, so I'm going to tell it to you. And what the Torah is trying to teach us is the opposite of compulsive. I have met so many parents, compulsive parents, meaning to say, if you see a child does something, at the moment, you just tell it to him. You don't even look if it's gonna work or if it shouldn't work. It's no difference. It's because you have to say something. Something is on your chest, and you just gotta get it off your chest. For instance, I saw a boy that doesn't make a brucha before he eats. He doesn't make the blessing. Now, I could say right away, hey, you gotta make a blessing before you eat. But it wouldn't have the same effect if I would be quiet and I wouldn't say anything. Now, as of this minute, just let him eat. Maybe you'll find the right time and you will tell him about the importance of saying a blessing before you eat. Now, people think, it's a big question. Who should say reproof for a child, for a son, if not the father? Here we have Yaakov Avinu, our father Yaakov. 45 years he wants to tell something to his son, and he didn't tell it to him. So this compulsive father would think, wow, it's one of the commandments in the Torah that you have to say reproof, especially when you have your own child. But Yaakov Avinu, his way of saying Musar was by not saying anything and by ignoring the situation. But don't think he forgot about it. He put it away. And he knew that I still have something to tell my son, that before I leave this world, I have something to say. Now, in Naitri Yeshiva, there was a mashgiach. His name was Harav Garelnik. Zechroni Levrucha. And what happened was, once a boy told it to me, it's a young man in his 30s, is telling me that when he was 19, he was in the yeshiva He was the kind of a boy that liked to make a little trouble. So once by praying, he went and took everybody's tzetza, tied it to the chair, in order that when they finish praying, they walk backwards, like 3 steps. So all the chairs turned over in the middle of praying. And we understand in a school, when something like this happens, that was a lot of fun. So this mashgiach, Rav Grelnik, came to this boy and tells this boy, you are a diamond. When you learn, everybody around you learns. You just need a little tiny bit that by praying you should pray a little bit better, and the whole school would pray much better when you would pray better. This boy tells me the story like 12 years later, and I could tell you, this boy became a diamond. And this boy tells me that the words from Rav Grelnik, all these years, you don't know how much it made me better. It's something that still rings in my ears. These words, you are a diamond. In just a little bit you should do more, you would be outstanding. Now, Rav Grelnik meant it, because when he saw a boy, he didn't see boys, he saw diamonds. And he saw that he's good. Yes, he did make trouble, and he liked to make trouble, but this was his kind of way of saying reproof, not by knocking somebody, by bringing him, he brought him up. How did he bring him up? By telling him, you're a diamond, you're a perfect boy, just a little bit more you gotta go. Now, when parents would understand, or when husbands would understand, that by talking to a wife and giving reproof for a wife, be careful, or say nothing, or wait till you could find the perfect time to say it. I once heard from a father, he said, I never ever say reproof to my child before I didn't give him 100 compliments. One statement reproof, you need 100 statements of positivity, compliments, telling him how much you love him. Then you could say one statement of reproof. Now, Yaakov Avini, let's try to imagine Yaakov Avini laying on a hospital bed, and all of his children are surrounding him. And Yaakov starts with the first child and tells him, my beloved child, my first child, you're the child that made me for a father. I want to tell you something, that I'm holding back this statement for 45 years because I didn't find it's not I didn't find the right time. I didn't feel important up till now to tell it to you. I felt important rather not to say it than yet to say it. But now I'm right before I'm going to die. This is my last chance that I can tell it to you. So that's why I want to tell it to you. Yaakov Avini didn't give reproof now to Reuven. He gave it to Reuven, to Shimon, to Levi, to Yehida, Yisachar, Zevulun, all of his children. They all saw, wow, look at what a father we have. For 45 years, he's holding back to say something because he didn't want to make our older brother have bad feelings, how much did Yankov Avinu teach us? In today's day, the Torah is for today also. It's forever. What is the Torah teaching us? Before you say something negative, you don't have to say reproof in a negative way. But whatever you do, before you say something, be careful that you should have in stock enough good words, in positive words, and it should be the right time. And try to make your son or your wife or / anybody feel like $1 million, then talk, then say something. And if you're not sure, you rather don't talk at all. This is what the Torah is teaching us. Hashem should help all parents and all husbands and all wives should respect one each other to the highest level, and be aware by saying a word you could do two things. Or you could bring up this person years later. This word from Rav Gerelnik is still bringing higher and higher this young man. Or you could, God forbid, say a word that knocks somebody. Years later, it's still knocking him. It's still. So how careful do we have to be to watch what we say and how we say? Should all have a beautiful day and all the best.